Very good evening to all my dear friends who have joined once again through Medusane channel. Today we have a wonderful session, a masterclass in pediatrics by Dr. Prithiviraj sir, who is a former senior for us, who pursued his MBBS in Omandura Medical College and now currently pursuing his pediatrics residency from Burdwana Medical College, West Bengal. Thank you, sir, for joining with us today. Today we are going to discuss about the questions, previous year questions and the concepts from growth and development. So I hand over the session to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining once again today.
Good afternoon. I'd like to.
Sir, you're not audible, sir.
Hello.
Sir, now you're audible.
Okay. Thank you, Raghuranjan, for giving such opportunity in your channel to take a lecture on important topics in pediatrics. So I hope I will do justice. Uh, so, so today the topic is on growth and development, which is one of the important topic in the field of pediatrics because this is one of the unique topic which you will never read in other subject of medicine or any other subject. So we would be discussing in question answer type, which will be most probably MCQ type or in the black. So mostly I would want this to be in a didactic, in kind of interaction manner. So I hope people will try to answer in the chat box. So from that we will proceed to the lecture and details about the topics. Okay, so let's start without wasting any time. So disclaimer, most of the topics questions I have prepared from the important money from standard textbook like OP Guide 10th edition, Nelson 21st edition, and some practical manuals like R. Swami Lakshmanasamy and Piyush Gupta book and IAP textbook. So these are the books from which I have taken the questions topics covered, and so the pictures are mostly from internet and from also from books. So this is my the disclaimer. So as I said, this session will be helpful to tackle both the university exam as well as the next approach. So since for 2019 batch, it's now clear cut that for your university exam will be conducted, but post your internship, most probably it would be your next exam for both your registration and your PG admission process. So as I said, it should be an interactive rather than didactic method. Most of the these lectures I would be mostly I will try to enrich the concept behind every question and every topic so that it will be very useful for your remembrance in the longer run. Post session I will also prepare some practice worksheet which I will be posting within 2 days in the medicine group, so that will be helpful for your both MCQ practice and for concept enhancement. So with this I will go with the question per se, topic per se. Okay. So question number one. So this is not which of the following statement is false regarding the rules of development. So as you go for growth and development per se, growth and development, most of the people, most of us think that both are same. But in person, in definition, both are different. For example, growth is nothing but increase in number or size of the cell where we can quantify that particular aspect. That is, growth can be quantified. Whereas the development is not that, it's a maturation of your function. Whatever you learn or whatever you have earned through the growth, but after that you have to that has to be matured. So that is kind of qualitative, which cannot be measured. So both are not same. That is, both growth and development are two different aspects. So for as per the definition, as per the standard textbook, there are few rules for development. So these are the five options. Out of this, one is wrong. So first option is development is a continuous process starting in utero and progressing in an ordinary manner until maturity. And this option is most probably right because from birth, but from the starting of zygote formation, from fusion of ovum as well as zygote, then for ovum and sperm, it develops into zygote to 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell process, then it's a blastocyst. Like this, it will go to the formation of embryo, then fetus, and then your delivery of LTB. So it's a process that starts from infancy. So this will process in an orderly manner until the maturity. That is till the child attain the adult stage. So this option is right. Second is development depends on the functional maturation of nervous system. If any skill you have to develop, your nervous system should be mature. So it is vice versa. It means that if your nervous system is not mature, whatever you try to acquire that skill, it will not going to happen because your nervous system is not mature. In other way around, if your nervous system is mature, but you are not trying to do that particular task, then you will never get that skill. So in both the sense, your nervous system should be functionally matured. Then only you will have this aspect. Third one is sequence of development is the same in all children, but the rate of development varies from child to child. Yeah. So every sequence, as always, if you take any gross motor milestone, first there must be head control. Then only the child will try to sit without support or sit with support. Then only the child can start sitting. So there will be a sequence which has to be followed. And but the rate of development will vary from child. For example, one child will have a head control by 3 years, 3 months, whereas the other child can have that same head control by 5 months. So the rate may vary, but the sequence of development should be same. This option is also correct. But the fourth one is the process of development occurs in cephalocaudal direction and from distal to proximal. And fifth is primitive reflex have to be lost before certain relevant milestone of attained. So out of this question, out of this following option, which is wrong. So as you go through the option, that is an option, the fourth option, you can see that process of development occurs in cephalocaudal direction. Always it's from cephalo to the from head to the toe. The reason is the neurons have relatively large head and relatively small body. The reason is your brain and nervous system are fully formed. Mostly 70 to 80% of your adult brain would have been formed within the first 2 years of life. So it is always the cephalocaudal direction that the developmental process will occur. So that's a given example. See that the infant can usually hold their head by 4 months, followed by that they will roll back from front to back by 6 months. They will start to crawl by 8 months. They will walk by 12 months. So it occurs in cephalocaudal direction, and it should be from and also it's the developmental process will start also from proximal to distal. So this is the point. The proximal to distal will happen. So the fine motor skill like scribbling, writing the words, essays, it takes time. So the distal work will take time rather than the proximal. So the option was given as process of development occurred in cephalocaudal direction and from distal to proximal, which is wrong. It should be from the proximal to distal. And the fifth option is also right because your primitive reflex has to be lost before certain relevant milestones are attained. For example, your asymmetric tonic neck reflex has to be lost before the child can roll. So this is all the 6 rules of development. So first rule is development is a continuous process. From utero, it should be organized till the maturity is occurred. There must be a CNS maturation before you can acquire a skill. Third, the sequence of acquiring milestone will be similar in all child, but the rate of development of that acquiring of that particular milestone will vary from child to child. Fourth point, it's always cephalocaudal direction and distal proximal to distal. Your primitive reflex has to be lost to acquire certain milestone, the voluntary milestone that has to be acquired. And last one, which is not given in this, always any activity the child do, initially it is a disorganized manner, which as the child matures, it goes into an organized manner. For example, whenever a child sees his daddy after he returns from home, in order to make to show its happiness, the child will start to jump, it will scream, it will laugh. So it's kind of disorganized manner. But as the age comes, but like by 3 years, when he see his daddy, then he will just give a smile. So this from a disorganized to an organized manner, the child will change. So these are the 6 salient feature of development. The reason for knowing this rule is because each and every domain of development will follow this rule. There will be no milestone which get deviated from this rule, and there are few exceptions, but most of the domain will follow the 6 salient feature of your developmental rule. Okay. So this is a picture which is given here. So this is a picture of a baby which has been trying to be pushed by the mother up to suit. This maneuver. So what is being checked in the child and maneuver used? So these are the four options. What could be the answer? So okay. So by per se, so the first we are going to see gross motor milestone. So which is the most first to be developed is the head control. As I said, the head control should at head control because as I said, as per the challenge feature, your cephalocaudal direction it has to be progress. So your first milestone to be acquired in the gross motor with the head control. So how to test this maneuver is by your a pull to sit maneuver. So in this maneuver, the baby will be in the supine position, and the examiner will try to pull the child from holding his wrist or else his shoulder. When he tries to do that in a newborn baby, since there is no neck control, there will be a complete head lag as given in the first picture. But as the child age goes on, by like 4 to 6 weeks, the head control starts developing. When the neck started to have some tone. As a result, when you try to pull the child, there will be a partial head control. So the point is the partial head control develops. Partial head control is seen at the age of 2 to 3 months, most probably, or else you can say as 4 to 6 weeks in some book, but 2 to 3 months you will have a partial head control. But at the child goes by 4 months, that once you try to pull the child as you pull, the child head will also follow you. So that means there will be no head lag, there will be a complete head control will be achieved by your age of 4 to 5 months. So complete head control is achieved by age of 4 to 5 months. And as you go above behind, like 5 months to 6 months, even you before the child get anticipated. What does mean anticipation? Manoj, when you try to when you come near to the child and you try to just you touch the child at the breast, automatically the child will hold the head. Even you before you start to pull the child. The child now knows that you are going to pull. That's why it automatically raises its head above the from the ground. So that occurs in the 5 months. That means the child has attained a complete head control. So the option for this will be A and B. Both are correct. That is head control and the manual is pull to sit. Neck holding, the manual is pull to sit. So both A and B options are right. So third question is what reflex must disappear before the rollover begins and at what age it is completed? See, as I said, the fifth salient feature of any development is some primitive reflex has to be lost by the baby so that they can gain some important milestone for their uh, development, for their that can be used in the day-to-day activity. For example, in order to the child rollover is very important because then only the child will able to sit, and after sitting the child can crawl, creep, then finally walk. So the rollover is very important when it occurs and what the reflex has to be lost. So the reflex is lost is same as I said, it's asymmetric tonic neck reflex, but at what age it is completed. So rollover that's a sequence of rollover follow. So this is a sequence followed. First, the child will be in the supine position, and the child will try to roll from prone to the back, prone to back to, or we can say that back to side and side to back. This rollover will take at the time of 4 to 6 months. Once this is the child has achieved, then the child will roll from prone to supine. This is first. Second is prone to supine, which the child acquire at 6 months. And finally, the child will now come from supine position to prone by going to the rollover at the age of 7 months. So at the 7 month, the child rollover is completed. So it will start by back to side and side to back at the age of 4 to 6 months. second one will be the prone to supine at 6 months, and finally is the acquired rollover sequence will be the supine to prone, which is at 7 months. So the question was, what reflex must disappear? That is your asymmetric tonic reflex. And what was the question? At what age it is completed? It begins at 4 months, but it completes at 7 months. So the answer is B, asymmetric tonic nerve reflex, and it's 7 months. Okay. Now the child has rolled over, and now it's in prone position. Now, even before rolling over, the child is able to sit with support. At the same age of 5 to 6 months, the child will sit with support, that is known as tripod position. Once the child has came from supine to prone position at 7 months, now the child want to try to wake up. That's the main important of this gross motor milestone development is it's to for the locomotion. The child has to now acquire some milestone or skill so that the child can now start to walk, because that is the major phenomena that the child want to undertake. That is one of the major milestones the child has to go by the age of 1 year, so that the child can start explore the environment. So now the child has rolled over to the prone position. Now it has to move from that particular place to the other place. So after that, what the child has to do? So it has to move his body. How it can move the body? By using both hands and feet. So after the child acquired this position, the child will now able to sit after rollover. The child will sit without support. When it occurs, sit without support will be at the age of 8 months, and sit with support, which is known as tripod position, at the age of 5 months. It will be 5 months. 5 to 6 months, the child will be able to sit with support. That is known as your tripod position. After the child can sit without support, then the child now can do two things. One, the child will move with his body from one position to other, so that it can go to that. There could be some object which he or she liked it and want to take it out. So how it do? Now the child has not started walking. So before that, how he can or she can move from that position to other position by two things, which is known as crawling and creep. So crawl and creep. Crawling, creep, crawl means the child will use its hand, that is your palm, and the abdomen will be on the ground and leg. So this is the position. So you can see the child is here using his arm, his abdomen, and his leg to move from one position to other position. This is known as crawling, and this is acquired at the age of 8 to 9 months. Now, so this is crawling, and second thing, after few days, months, the child now able to lift his abdomen above the ground, and that is known as creep. In creeping, the child will use his arm and the knee to move from this position to this position. So that is known as creeping. So how to remember crawling and creeping? Crawl means abdomen touches the ground, so that is A in the crawl. So this abdomen, so it will be the acquiring first, that is age of 8 to 9 months. And creep, that is no A in the word, so it will be the child will not touch the abdomen ground with the abdomen, so you will touch with the feet, knee, and the arm. So this acquired at the 9 to 10 months. So the option is here 9 and 10. So two milestones. The creep crawling is acquired in 9 months, and your creep is acquired in 10 months. There is another phenomenon which you are seeing in this photo. Here, the child is using both hand and feet, not the knee. So if you notice, there is the knee is not touching the floor. So what this milestone is known as? This is just acquired before the child can stand without support. This is known as beer creep. This is known as beer creep. So this beer creep is acquired at the age of 11 months. 11 months, where by 12 months the child will stand without support, and stand with support is acquired at the age of 9 months. Yes. So the next question is, Arun and Kiran are two final year medical students who went to an Anganwadi center as a part of pediatric community posting. They noticed two infants in the center doing some task as shown in the picture. They remember the developmental class which was taken a day before in college. What could be the age of these two? So here you are seeing one child is sitting and trying to explore the drawer, and the other child is standing and it is and it's trying to explore with the around the furniture. So these are the two important milestones in the gross motor that helps in to explore the things. The first, where the child is sitting and trying to explore by just moving around without standing up. So this phenomena or this milestone is known as pivoting, where child is able to move around without standing to explore the environment around him or her. Whereas, so this acquires mostly at 10 months. Whereas cruising. Now the child has after 9 months, the child stands with support. Now it can stand with support by the help of mother, father, or it can stand with support by holding the furniture. Now he's seeing some ornaments or kind of toys, colorful toy at the end of that furniture. Now he wanted to take that on. Now he will cruise, man. He will round that furniture and will go to that side and take that toy. So here he is using that furniture in order to move. So it is like it's moving around the world like that. So it's kind of fusing. So this process where the child explores the environment or by the help of furniture, right? The furniture or a table where the child move around the furniture to take that particular toys or thing. This is known as cruising. This is acquired standing with a support by 9 months, and this cruising is acquired by 11 months. So the answer for this question is it's your A. 10 months for your pivoting, cruising. The answer is 11 months. So sixth question. Once the child has started walking, but the child has started walking with support. Now child started walking without support by 12 months, and by 50 with walking with support by 12 months, walking without support by 15 months. As a child started walking without support, now the child has important other milestone has to move from one position above to the below from above. That milestone is how the child acquired the milestone in moving up and down the staircase. So here you have to arrange the milestone in ascending order of the appearance. So always when you see this, as I said, the first the child has to creep and crawl. Here also the child will do that. Then support. With some support, the child has to move. So as the cruising and also walking with support. Then the child will always use 2 steps before going for using alternative steps. That has to be cool. Because as I said, it's a disorganized to organized manner. So every milestone will use this 6 classical rule of development for making the maturity of that particular milestone to get attained. And fourth, always it's easy for walking upward rather than down, coming down. So first, the child will creep or crawl over the staircase at the age of 15 months. And then, as I say, creep and crawl with support. So there will be some rails around the staircase. The child will hold it out and then walk with support at the age of 18 months. And by the age of 2 years, the child will use 2 steps per staircase. 2 steps, then 2 steps, then 2 steps. This by 3 years, 2 years. Then alternative step for walking upward. It is at 3 years, and downward same alternative step by 4 years. So 15 months, the child will creep and crawl over the staircase. At by the age of 18 months, with support that by holding the rail or or else your wall, the child will walk up. Then use 2 steps each for each staircase. He or she will use 2 steps. Then only will go to other staircases by 2 years. At the age of 3 years, the child will use alternate steps to move above and down by 4. So the options here, A will be the first is creep and crawl, second will be your support, then 2 step, then upward, then down. So in this way you have to arrange the option. I guess you got it. Now other milestone is simple. It's also gross motor. So so you have to match. So first walking backward, second riding a tricycle, third is hopping and skipping. Here also you see once a child will walk backward by the age of 2 years. And then riding a tricycle and bicycle, when compared to bicycle, tricycle is a milestone. Bicycle is a skill which some will learn, which some cannot learn, but that is not a milestone. Tricycle is a milestone. And hopping and skipping. What is the difference between skipping and hopping? In hopping, the child uses alternative feet, one feet while hopping. Whereas in skipping, use 2 feet to jump, 2 feet while skipping. So that is attained in motion. So the option is A. First option is 1B, 2A, 3B, 3C. As I said, walking backward is always start by that is the first to attain by 2 years. Then riding a tricycle at 3 years, hopping by 4 years, and skipping is by 5 years. So the option for this is your 2. Now so by this way we completed the gross motor milestone. Second, we go for the fine motor milestone. So fine motor is, as I said, it's always your proximal to distal. So the distal milestone will be attained very late because that needs maturation of the CNS, because myelination takes time. Myelination will take time, so it takes time for the fine motor to appear. The distal fine motor skills to appear later when compared to the proximal one, because maturation myelination takes time. So which of the following grass is otherwise known as scissor-like grip when it is said to develop in the and when it is said to develop in the? So simple. For this task, we should understand the concept of the hand. The child doesn't know the presence of hand till the age of 3 months, because the child soon after the birth, the child position would be in universal flexion. In universal flexion, both your hand and feet will be in the flex position, and your palm will be closed. It will be fisted. The child doesn't know that the hands exist for it or her. But at the age of 3 months, it gets open. That is by the 12 weeks, as per the Illingworth textbook of young child development. It has been said by the 12 weeks, the book your hand get open, and the child will now it comes in this vision view. One is a field visit. Okay, but it will come in this focus field vision focus of vision. So now the child knows there is ant, so it tries to explore this ant. That particular aspect is known as ant recon. So that happens at the age of 12 weeks to 20 weeks. That is between 3 to 5 months. So the question was 3 to 5 months, the child will know the hand. Now we start to explore. It will bring the any object that is given to him into the mouth. Mouthing will take place by 4 to 5 months, 4 to 6 months, and then use bidextrous gas by 5 months and unidextrous gas by 6 months, and transfer the object from one side to another by 6 to 7 months. Now this transferring of object from one side to another occurs by the age of 6 to 7 months. For first 6 months, the child uses the ulnar side to hold any object. So that is known as ulnar grasp. So to hold any object, that is a primitive reflex. What is palmar grasp? That palmar grasp will go as I said, by 12 weeks, the palmar grasp vanishes. And that grasp, voluntary grasp that is acquired first is your ulnar grasp. It is happens till your 6 to 7 months. So the child tries to hold any object by the ulnar side of your palm and transfer the object. So this is the first grasp that is to be appear, and then you have three grasps that is going to appear. One is your immature, intermediate, mature. Immature radial grasp, intermediate radial grasp, and last one is your matured pincer grasp. All are radial. Now this immature radial grasp, the child will hold the object in the radial aspect of his palm, but in a disorganized manner. So here also the funda is disorganized to organized. So the rule of development is also followed here. So immature radial, the child will hold with 4 or 5 fingers completely on the radial aspect of the particular object. Then the child uses only 2 fingers, your thumb and forefinger. Intermediate radial grasp, the way the child holds a pen or anything is on the proximal aspect of the hand. So this is your hand, this is your thumb. I'm drawing very rough. This forefinger and your thumb. So this is your proximal aspect, this is your distal aspect. So it is interphalangeal joints, proximal interphalangeal, distal interphalangeal joints, and your metacarpal joint, MIP. So what happened? The child will hold the object here, not at a distal. It will have a proximal interphalangeal joint, the child will hold. That occurs at the intermediate joint, that is occur about 7 to 10 months, 6 to 7 months, more likely. And facial pincer grasp occurs at the age of 8 to 10 months, most probably. Now this intermediate radial grasp, where the child holds the object in the proximal interphalangeal joint, looks like this. This is your object. This is your object, and like this. Child holds the object like this is your object, and this is your finger. So this is your forefinger, and this is your thumb. And the object is here, or any pencil. So it's kind of a scissor appearance. So this is known as scissor-like grip. Out of this option, here the scissor-like grip, they are not, it's well defined, but the option is B. Scissor-like grip is attained by the age of 8 to 10 months, 8 months. This intermediate radial grasp is attained at the age of 8 months, and this option is B. This is your intermediate radial grasp. It's acquired at the age of 8 months. The answer is B. So this is a question where the child is going to preschool and his teacher asks to draw the shape which he loved the most from the given shape chart and is able to draw the following shape. what could be the age of the child. So for this, you should know this is also a fine skill which is developed only after the child attained the mature pincer grasp. Then only the child can hold a pencil or pen and can scribble. The scribbling occur at the age of 15 months. So you should answer this 15 months. So from this time, the child will start his notarial activity. So it will start to scribble. Initial easy one is to draw is vertical line, then horizontal line, then circle, then triangle or rectangle or square, then triangle, then rhomboid, then cylinder, then a block, right? So as I said, the scribbling has 15 months. So that is easiest scribble is line, a stroke, which is a vertical stroke at the age of 15 months, horizontal stroke at the age of 18 months, circle at the age of 2 years, rectangle, sorry, sorry. This vertical will start at 18 months, horizontal at 2 years, circle at 3 years, rectangle, square or cross at the age of 4 years, triangle at 5 years, or this cross is also you will see at 5 years, rhomboid at 6 years, this has 9 years, and 11 years the child left. So this is for your drawing. And one question they can ask, when the child can draw and paint? So what could be the answer? Anyone? When the child can draw and paint. As I said, the scribbling by 15 months, by 11 years, he can beautifully draw a block. But the drawing and painting will start acquired by the age of 3 years. Okay. So here in the option, the child is able to draw a circle, which is attained at the age of 3 years. The child is able to draw a square, which is attained at the age of 4 years. The child is able to draw triangle, which is attained at 5 years. So the age of the child would be 5 years. The maximum the child can draw triangle. Below that he cannot draw, so the age is 5 years. Now the option 10 question. Now, once the child has started drawing, now the child now able to explore with cubes. The cubes is also an integral part because here also the child has to acquire the pincer grasp. After that only you can handle one cube and you can assemble that cube in a row of 2, row of 3 or row of 4 or whatever. So for this answer, and then once he acquired the skill, acquired to know how to build, he started to do his invention in it. He will not only arrange in a single row, he will start to arrange vertically, horizontally, and leaving one cube ahead, and like you can build a bridge like that or a gate with that. So he will invent as his age advances, his memory and his imagination expand. He can do that. This is also a maturation. Once the CNS mature, only he acquired the skill, then only both has to go hand in hand. The CNS has to mature as well as he has to acquire the skill, he has to practice it. Otherwise, he cannot build or he cannot invent to do that particular cube to be arranged in different ways. So, what is the answer C? First, instead of cube, we have 3 things. Cube can be divided into blocks in a rack forming or frame making and gate and staircase forming. This first, what you are seeing this is attained at the age of the child is able to form train without chimney by the age of 2 years, and with chimney one he can keep above at the age of 2.5 years, and he can build a gate of 3 cubes by the age of 3 years. By the age of 4 years, he can build gate of 5 cubes. 4 years, not 5 years. By 5.5 to 6 years, the child can build this staircase like this. So I'm doing very bad. Okay. So here the child has built a train with chimney, which is more commonly seen in 2.5 years. Gate of 3 cube, age of 3 years. Staircase, age of 5.5 to 6 years. The only option where 5.5 years is B. So answer is B. Then this is a question. Now we're going for language and milestone. You are visiting your friend house in vacation for collecting notes for your study. He introduced to his nephew Akash, and you notice that he shouts "Mum, mum, mum" by pointing toward the feeding bottle. Once his mother gave the bottle, he became quiet and started drinking. What could be the possible age of this child? See, here the child is pronouncing some words. So the child is able to speak. The India started to use some words. The first real words the child is using is acquired at the age of 1 year. 2 to 3 words or 4 to 6 words by the age of 15 months. 8 to 10 words by the age of 18 months. Right? By 2 years, the child can speak 50 to 100 vocabulary words. And by the age of 3 years, you can see the massive increase in 250 words. And by the age of 5 years, the child can speak about 1,000 words, 2,500, really 1,000 to 2,000 words the child can speak. So within the span of 2 years, the child is able to pronounce the phonology, whatever, by about nearly the 1,500 words can be. So the maximum language development in any child is acquired between which year? Is between 3 to 5 years. So stuttering, where the child takes time to pronounce or tell the words, like this, some child will develop during this year because numerous 10 times, 100 times the words number increases for pronouncing it, or the child has to take some time to pronounce it correctly. So it will stutter. So stuttering is a normal phenomenon. But in this question, what we are asking, the child is pointing to a particular object and by using his own word, when he gets it, he stops using that word and drinks the water. So here he wanted the water bottle. So he uses his own word, which no one uses in the normal way. After the mother understand that he want that and he gave it to him. After that, he stopped. He become quiet and started drinking. What is this? This is known as Jargon speech. As you know, in any stroke patient in middle cerebral artery stroke, the patient has this kind of verbal diary. He will start to tell whatever it comes in mind without an appropriate comprehension or pronunciation, whatever. This is because the middle cerebral artery is supplied to a language, your auditory, not auditory, your speech center, which is motor and sensory. Here both sensory and motor get affected. As a result, the child, even he can comprehend, the motor area is affected, the child, he cannot speak what he wants to, right? So here this is Jargon speech. Between 15 to 18 months of child, the Jargon. What is this Jargon speech? Similar to the middle cerebral artery stroke patient, we know what to speak, but we cannot speak because the motor area has been impaired. So he will tell whatever it comes in his mind or from his mouth. So here it's similar to that. The child at the age of 15 to 18 months will do this job. What is this? It is nothing but speaking in an unintelligible but expressive language of his own with modulation, phrasing, and dramatic inflection, but with only an occasional intelligible word. So mum, mum, mum is some word is using, which it denotes to that particular thing, and you also know that the other person or caretaker will also know that he wanted that and he will provide that same to him. So he used this word to denote that particular thing so that his need get fulfilled. This is known as Jargon speech and it is acquired in the age of 15 to 18 months. So here the option is 15 months. I get this. You guys understand this. Jargon speech, you compare with the jargon speech that occur in middle cerebral artery stroke. Similar to that, in at the age of 15 months, it's a language developing process. The child is acquiring words, but at the time only he can speak only 4 to 6 words. So with that words, he comprehends something, some kind of unintelligible, but it is expressive. He uses his own phonation, own dramatic expression, so that the other word for whom he is communicating will understand that she needs that and will give that. And so in this way, the way he learns to communicate. So this is the process of communication. So he is using very unusual, undramatic or irrelevant words only. But this is the learning process where the child knows how to communicate. Then once he learns the words like 50 to 100 by 2 years, 250 by 3 years, now he can communicate effectively with an appropriate word. So towards the question, what is the importance of this milestone in the infant? So time is, I guess we are taking so much time, so we will complete as soon as possible. So what is the importance of this milestone in the infant and when it develops and see? I said at the age of 12 weeks, the hand opens up. The fisting, because of universal flexion, it opens up, the child's hand gets opened up, and now the child will see the hand. This phenomena is known as hand regard. Hand regard is very important. If this is not going to be seen, the child will never know that the hand is present in his body, and which with which he or she can do everything in his day-to-day activity. This hand regard is very important, and it developed by the age of 12 weeks, that is 3 months. And at this particular, and by 5 months, it has to be seized. If it's not seized, then persistence of hand regard is pathological and seen in cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy, right? At the age of 12 weeks, he characteristically watches his hand as he lies on the back. The baby now finds out he has hand. Now he tries to find out what the use of it. So he has to explore why the hand is in him. What is the use of it? The particular thing in my body. We start to explore by grasping the rattle when placed at the age of 4 months, mounting the same at the age of 5 months, 4 to 6 months. By distance grasp begins to about 4 to 5 months, and the baby will suck his own great toe at the age of 5 months. By 20th week or 5th month, the child gets bored of seeing ants and want to explore more. Now that this regard will get disappear. If this regard persists beyond 5 months, it's mostly seen in neurologically impaired child, that is your CP. And one important thing, it is an hand-eye coordination milestone. Money, what that means? The child watches. And again, as I say, the child watches for 12 to 20 weeks. The child is seeing the hand. That's known as hand regard. And then try to explore with the hand by whatever I told now. Whether this hand-eye coordination is very important for this hand regard? No. There are some studies and some that is the developmental book of childhood, where it has been stated that this hand regard is also seen in blind children. So hand regard is not an eye, it's not only with the hand-eye coordination, it's beyond that. Even a blind child can have this hand regard. Now you see the child is playing here with is laughing and is batting over the mirror which is placed below him. So now the child recognizes him, and he also recognizes that the shadow he's seeing on the image is also him, and he gets resolved. He's happy, and to show his happiness, is vocalizing, is cooing like that. So which of the following milestone attained in the baby when it is this is known as mirror play? This is one of the important milestones where the child recognizes himself or herself as a person. As a person, They think they also exist in this world. This mirror, first they always smile when they see the image. They see their image, right? And then what happened? Now they start to vocalize and jump while seeing their image. So when these two get appear, okay, these two get appear at the age of, first the smiling will appear at the age of 4 months. And this vocalizing and jump file, this is known as mirror play. This appears at the age of 5 months. This is known as 5 months. So what other related when the child knows himself, as I said, by the 5 months, 6 months, the child recognizes herself or himself as a person. When the child know him or his name, responding to his name, knowing his or her name is two different. I guess these are two different milestones. Responding his or her name is mostly seen in 6 to 8 months. The child is able to recognize it. But when you call the child by name, he or she will turn around. That is different, but the child doesn't know that is its name. But knowing him is his name, and when you ask it what is your name, the child will respond his name. When it is acquired at the age of 3 years. So these both are different milestones that is acquired in different. And also other thing you should know, knowing his or her gender is at the age of 3 years. That is also a 3 years. These are self-recognizing milestone, where the child knows that he or she is a person who are existing in this world. So mirror, smiling at the mirror at 4 months, mirror play at 5 months, responding his or his name mostly at 6 to 8 months, knowing his or her name by 3 years, knowing his or her gender is 3 years. Right? Now what is this? So here is a picture where a child is playing with a doll. Now someone has covered the doll with the towel. Now the child recognizes that there is if I remove this towel, I can see the doll. What is this milestone? Anyone? This milestone is known as object permanence. Yep. This is one of the important milestones that is acquired in the social domain of the child. Why? If this milestone is not going to be acquired in a baby, the child when this is not going to develop, before this development, before this milestone acquired, the child thinks any object that is out of his field of vision is not existing in the world anymore. So he or she will not try to find it. So if you are giving a ball at a 3-month-old child, 5-month-old child, who has started to have a grasp reflex, so he will hold it, it will play with it. And suddenly it fell down from his hand and goes out of his sight. Now the child will not look around for that object, because for him the object is not existing right now in this world. So he will go to play with his mother or follow what is available. As a child age the 9 month of age, it is acquiring by age of 9 months. The child now understand that even he or she cannot see the object, still it present in the world. So the child now understand that the object still persists in the environment despite it is out of his or her field of vision. This is acquired at the age of 9. This is very important. Otherwise, the child will not try to look for that particular object. And this is one of the important milestones which is acquired in this field. Or you can say this other option, if I give multiple choice, what other option you can add for this? It could be playing peekaboo. Yeah, it is also like a playing a peekaboo. Child himself put the towel and opens up the towel. Peekaboo is not that someone has to do the peekaboo. Even the child can play the peekaboo. So you can give two answers for this. It is object permanence and playing peekaboo. Peekaboo acquired at the age of 10 months and object permanence at the age of 9 months. And in 9 months, the child will also acquire waving bye-bye. Right? Okay. So these are the two phenomena which everyone get confused in the topic is anxiety. The first question is 3-year-old female child who become apprehensive to enter the preschool class. Whereas the second photo shows 8-month-old child is hiding behind the mother when he sees her colleague or friends coming. So what is happening? So first one, she doesn't want to go into the class. In second one, the child is in home, but he doesn't want to go to a stranger. So what are the two anxiety cause? The first picture which shows where a child is afraid to go to a class because he don't want to go to an environmental where he is apprehensive to leave the parents. So the fear of leaving the parent or not seeing his familiar faces is known as separation anxiety. This is acquired at the age of 18 months. Here, the child fears the familiar faces will not be present. In this age, what happened? The child are very naughty. So what happened? They think the parents are leaving them in the school because they don't want to take them out. So when they leave it or earth in the classroom, they think they will not return back. So they get fearful. The same. So this is known as separation anxiety, otherwise known as reproachment. Reproachment. Whereas the other anxiety where the child at the 8 month of age, the child is not going to a stranger. That is known as stranger anxiety. Fear of unfamiliar places. So that's an unfamiliar person and he don't want to go to that. So he is fear of that particular unfamiliar places. This occurs at the age of 7 months. Both of the time, most of the people think this both are same. Per se, they are same in some if you permutation combination, if you do and it occurs like it is more or less same. But acquiring of the skill is different. Stranger anxiety acquired at the age of 7 months. Separation anxiety is acquired at the age of 18 months. So place. This is a few more questions. So I guess we will only complete off of the schedule lecture today because I have prepared nearly 40 questions. But explaining each and every question is important since then only you can understand what is behind every milestone and what kind of question examiner can ask in your both university and your MCQ Tech, NEET, PG, USMD, whatever you are preparing. So that's why I'm focusing each and every milestone, how you have to differentiate from other milestone. So today, I guess we will be completing only 20 questions. The rest we will be covering in the other class. Hope so.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Sure. Okay. Now we will see the place. So now the child has acquired everything. Like you have seen gross motor, the child has acquired language milestone, the child has also acquired some fine motor, and now the social. Social also he has started to have anxiety. Now the child has to play, right? Now, what is the kind of play the child will learn? Initially, at the birth or the infant, when the child is born, the child will like to play in his own. When you see a 5 month or 6 month old child, he will be smiling at the toys. He will be playing by the grass. He will be holding the toy, transferring the object one here and there. So he's playing. He will be happy by playing with himself. So it is an isolated play, right? So child is happy and it will play with the particular object which is given to him for 24 bar 7. If we give for 2 or 3 years, the child will play with that object without any fatigue. The child will not get bored because his social skill has still yet not developed. Before play, the child start at the age of 15 months. Once the child stands, can explore, walk without support. When 15 to 18 months, the child can walk without support, run. Now the child can explore. He can move from one area to a in a less amount of time, so he can meet with people. Now the child will start to explore the play. Now the isolated play will become different variety of play. So the first play the child will learn at the age of 2 years will be a parallel play. What is this parallel play? Why the name is parallel? So now you're keeping two babies, two-year-old child, and one you are giving a gun to play, another you are giving ball. They will play, and you are saying you should play within this circle. They will play within this circle. The child who you gave ball is very interested with the ball, and he will play that with that ball only. Whereas the child you are with the gun, he is interested with that particular. He wanted to explore more, and he will play with the gun. But in the both instances, both child will not interact with each other. They don't give any. Uh, they don't have any interest to play together. But as someone said that you should play within this circle, you should not go outside. So they will be playing together, but they will not interact. There will be no set of rules. They will be playing independently. This kind of play is known as parallel play, where the child is exploring the thing, but here also the child wanted to know more. They explore among himself, not with the other. Even though both are at the same place and they are seeing each other, but they don't want to interact with each other. This play is known as parallel. It is acquired at the age of 2 years, right? Next, the play will be the this pretended play. In this pretended play, now child has to go more beyond that. Now the child is watching TV and he's seeing some aeroplane flying, and there is one pilot is flying that aeroplane. So he's very get interested. So he wanted to do that same acting, and the father has also bought a aeroplane, small toy aeroplane. So now he think that he's a pilot. So in home, while he's within the home, he will be playing with that aeroplane. He will be flying that aeroplane in his hand. While sleeping, also he will be sleeping with that aeroplane. Now he's pretending himself as a pilot and he's exploring that toy and he's thinking himself as a pilot. So here the imagination has increased. At the age of 3 to 4 years, the child imagination will also develop, and according to that, the child plays will also change. This is known as pretended play, which is acquired at the age of it is acquired at the age of 3 years. Now the child gets bored. Why should I have so imagination play? Initially he was playing with some toys and he's not too much interrogating with them, but he was interested with the toy and he's playing even the other people is on that, but they're playing together but separate. And now that the imagination has well developed, so he's pretending that I am a pilot, so I will be play. I am the commander of this thing. So I will be doing this everything. So they will pretend it as per imagination. Now he's tired of imagining. Now you want some other people to be along with, so you want to. So now the third play is known as cooperative play, where the child will learn to interact with the people and they will share the toys with each other and they will play together. Now the communication skill will at the age of 4 years. As I said, the 4 years the child can communicate very well. They can talk. They have more than 250 vocabularies, so they can interact. They will ask for the toy. That other guy also will interact. So in this way, there will be cooperation between them. They have interest. They will learn more among themselves. This is known as cooperative play. And the last play will, as they mature by the age of 5 years, they will have a role play like police chief or teacher student. Okay, like this. So this is an example for that unoccupied. Initial as a solitary play. Second will be parallel play. Associative play. This is not simple cooperative play. So for this you should know only solitary, parallel, cooperative, and then as a role. Now dressing or undressing is very important concept that has to be learned in this way. By reason, see, another important funda you guys should know is the child will always do an easy task first before any complex task. That is very important. Simple task will the child learns the simple task before any complex task, right? So the child always undress first. Learn to undress first before the child starts to dress properly. Yeah. So as per this short, undressing with support, foot is shock will develop at the age of 2 years. Dressing with support, able to unbutton. Also see, unbuttoning is the first skill he will develop rather than buttoning. Because as I said, the easy task is the one that the child will develop first, not the so both dressing with support are able to unbutton at the age of 3 years, right? Able to button, dressing, undressing independently at the age of 4 years. Putting shoelaces at the age of 5. So another one important thing is even the dressing and undressing. With in COVID time, everyone has at least experienced the wearing of PP, personal protective shoe, right? Wearing of personal protective shoe is known as donning. Removing of personal protective shoe is known as doffing. At least everyone would have gone through this work. Even you didn't wear the PP, but you will came across during your posting or your during your classes or your what is donning and doffing. Now for upper body and lower body it is different, right? For upper body, it is donning is always first rather than doffing. Upper body, dressing is first you will dress. Donning means dressing, doffing means undressing. In simple. By 3 years, the child will dress. By 4 years, he will learn to undress the upper part, like shirt. But in lower body, he always learn to undress first rather than dressing. So at the age of 3 years, he will undress the pant, and at the age of 4 years, the child will put the pant. So in this way, it both are different. Okay, right. So we have only 2-3 questions more. So sphincter control, when the child is able to control his urine, and a voluntary control will occur by the age of 1 to 1.5 years. Okay, 1.5 years to 2 months. 2 years, sorry. Dry by day by the age of 2.5 years. Dry by night by the 3 years. And always should know that bowel control is always first to be appeared rather than bladder control. This is the first thing. First funda in sphincter control. The child will control his bowel activity, then only bladder activity. In bowel activity, the child will control the night first. The last to be acquired the bowel control will be the day. But in bladder, it will be a day, the dry by day. As you see, dry by 2.5 years. By night, it takes by 3 years. And 20% of children will become dry by night by late as 5 to 7 years. And that condition is known as nocturnal enuresis. That you will be learning in behavioral chapters, which will be seeing in the other classes. So 20% of child will still be take some time to acquire this diamond. Now you see what this child is doing. What the child now the child is taking that object and it's throwing that object on the ground. He is doing it willfully. This is known as, and whenever the child is grasping some object and you are asking the object, you are asking that object to a child to give to you. First, he will not give to you. And second, he will give to you. Third time, he will throw on. He throws willfully. What is this process? What is this mindset or what this process is for? It is known as casting. Willfully throwing object on the ground is known as casting, and it is acquired between the age of 11 to 13 months. Latest by 15 months. Right? So mostly we are coming into the end of the development part. Only we are left with the growth part. So development, other two development is vision and hearing. In vision, so here you are seeing a child who is trying to grab that object. So he's trying to grab. So he know that the object is there, his hand is there. So mostly the child is about around 4 months. He is around 4 months, right? Now the child vision, you have to know the field up to 45 degree, focus field to 90 degree, field to 180 degree, binocular vision when to appears. This field by 45 degrees appears by 1 week. Till 90 degrees, the vision field will be by 4 weeks, 1 week by 3 months. This two visual fixation only on mother's caretaker. That means till 1 month, the child vision can recognize only face of caretaker. If you are giving an object, the child will not respond to that object if you are giving within 1 month, because the eye has developed only to see the face recognition with the help of the light. The child represents the face of the person with the dots. So there will be light flash and you will see the two eyes as a dot. So he or she can recognize only the dot of the face. So it is still 1 month. The visual fixation is only for that face. So any field, or if you want to show or you want to test the fixation of field of vision in this child, only you can use the face of the caretaker. You can see whether degree is come. But after this 1 month, at 3 months, the child can have any innominate object for fixation. And binocular vision will start at 6 weeks and it will be complete by 5 months. Okay, right. This is mostly it's a 145 to 90 degree per vision, and here it's mostly 360, and you can take it as 180. The last milestone would be a hearing milestone. So hearing milestone, it can be divided first. Whenever the child you give a noise or you startle, if you beat the bed, the child will startle. It occurs that startle response is the first response to the hearing milestone that appears at the neonatal period within first 28 days of life, right? And turns it to sound. Once a sound is produced by one thing, the child will face to that particular direction, right? Will not see up or down, it just face to the direction where it is produced. This is produced at the age of 3 to 4 months, most probably. And now, if it is produced up, down, always the child will look down before going up. Now, there is any sound that is produced down. Now, what the child will do? The child will face to that particular direction, first thing, and then the child will look down. This is acquired at the age of 5 months. So first easy always is you look down, and he will not look directly to our mouth. He will first look toward the side where the sound is coming, and then look to our mouth. This is occurred at the age of 5 months, and then at the age of 7 months, now we produce the sound above. The child will look up from to the side and then upward. This is acquired at the age of 7 months. And finally, the child directly go and see that particular object is at the age of 10 months. Diagonal. The startle present at the neonatal period, turn it to the sound horizontally at the age of 3 to 4 months, vertical down at the age of 5 months, vertical up at the age of 7 months, and finally diagonally at the age of 10 months. So with this slide, I have completed the developmental chapter, normal developmental milestone that has to be a important development milestone. I have covered most of the important milestones in the gross motor, second fine motor, social, language, vision, and hearing. So most of the important milestones, how to differentiate the various milestones, and how to appreciate in the babies have been discussed with the help of question and answer type. Hope you have understand something. And for today, we will end the topic here. In next class, we will see the normal growth. That is very short questions only. It's very because development is far more important than growth because growth is straightforward. It is theory based. If you know the theory, the numerical value, the normal growth topic is important. It's more. The abnormal growth and abnormal development will be taken along with the normal. So today we will be winding up the session with this. Thank you. I hope this lecture has given some insight on the development. Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So it was a good revision for the developmental chapter, as you told, sir. It was really worth. So I request everyone, if you have any doubts, you can just post in the chat box, or I will just share you the link in the chat box. You can just post your doubts or also your feedback in that. And we will have a very good topic that we will continue with this the growth and development in the subsequent days. The date will be given by sir. As sir told, also kindly let him know any doubts or any queries in either in the Medusane group itself. Since sir is there, you can just post any of your doubts so that it will be clarified through that. Thank you so much, sir, to join with us today in spite of your schedule. Thank you so much.
Thank you.